We're at the Lost Patty. I'm with Aaron. It's before the Orlando game, away at Orlando.
Uh-huh.
What are you expecting tonight?
I don't have any expectations, really. I think I'm feeling kind of down right now because we've lost 2 games in a row, and Saturday losing at home to Cincinnati, it was tough. It was just a tough one to swallow, a tough one to take, and it was kind of. I'm trying to think of what's wrong, and I think that it always comes back to really we're working. I know Walker counts as a designated player, but when we think of designated players, you really want attacking players, and so we're fighting with one hand but tied behind our back with just Hani, and he hasn't gotten up to full speed yet, I would say, and so we really need that extra DP, but of course we've got Loeb on the books, so we can't get that reinforcement in. So the summer is going to have to bring somebody in, but ultimately it came down to we couldn't break down Cincinnati, and once they went ahead, they honestly pulled a Gary Smith performance in terms of just being very defensively solid. They got their goal that they needed, and then they didn't really. They challenged us to score, and we couldn't figure out how to do that. And so tonight, I think I'm just going to watch and see what happens with Godoy back. Maybe there's a little bit of extra, passing going forward that might break some lines down. Schaffelberg not being in the lineup is interesting, or starting lineup is interesting, just because, now Luke Hawkinson gets to try, once more to get in the starting 11, which I don't know if he's capable of that. And, we'll just kind of see what happens. But Pedro Galese is a good goalkeeper, and, we're going to have to figure out a way to score. And if we can't do that, obviously can't win the game.
Do you have a prediction?
I don't know. Maybe 1-1. We score and then they score in the end and ruin our dreams of getting 3 points on the road.
Would you take a point? Would you take a point, Aaron?
Obviously. I mean, I think I've gotten being around Gary Smith enough. It's point on the road, 3 points at home, but I think definitely not having that win at home on Saturday was rough, or last week. So
that Cincinnati loss was rough. That was tough.
It's going to be tough to swallow that one. Not going to lie. Hearing them singing in our stadium when I was cleaning up trash was rough, and I know how Atlanta United fans felt the past couple times we've been down there. So it's props to them. They got to sing while they can, and we'd sing while we can, but let's not do that again.
Okay, so you've got us down for a 1-1 tie at the end. All right, I'll check back with you after the game, Aaron.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not.
We got the final 2-0. Aaron, what do you think?
Hey, that's nice, isn't it?
That was nice.
I think it was a much needed win. I think Godoy might have made a really big difference as far as just the first half controlling the game, and he's really good at maintaining possession, and Hawkinson did well maintaining possession as well. So, we created the one chance, and, Hani just, he's man of the match, of course, goal and assist, I think. So, getting that ball to Fafa, and Fafa getting his first goal is nice. And, I think still having, Teal and CJ do a lot of hard work, but I'd really like them plus goals would be really good. Solid win. That second goal really helped to seal the deal, because I think Orlando was really pushing, and then getting that second goal in 70-something minute, third or fourth, I think really just put it away, and Gary then just decided, hey, I can park the bus and to be a little bit of crude language, I mean, that was a Gary Smith wet dream, that second goal, because then he could toss on Brian Anunga, and we got 3 defensive midfielders on, and, a back 5 essentially, and there's nothing any team can do when Gary's able to defend a 2-goal lead. So
exactly. Gary Smith is like, yeah, I got 3 CDMs on and I'm playing a back 4. Look out now.
Exactly. Let's go. So good result.
Was the ball stopped for the quick restart?
I think so. I mean, he had his hand on it at least. So was that a question? I guess
there was some discussion about whether or not it was completely stopped. Those in yellow think so.
Sure. Okay, there we go. It's one of those where you're going to yell at small little things, but at the end of the day, I think for Orlando, they just didn't get a good enough chance, and anytime they did shoot at the goal, it was straight at Joe. So, but Joe was at least there in the right spot to.
Speaking of Joe, so another shutout for Joe.
Yeah. He's great, and honestly, I mean, he hasn't been poor for the other times we've lost. He's only let in 1 goal, but if we keep winning 2-0 and losing only 1-0, that's, I suppose, good. It seems like not giving up too many goals, and that second goal is always helpful.
So the wins by 2, losses by 1. That's a goal difference positive, so long as we keep the proportions right. So any big takeaways from tonight?
I mean, I think Hawkinson did decently enough as work rate. I don't think he's really. I think Schaffelberg still. I think Gary might be resting Schaffelberg, and I think he rested Fafa in New England and on the turf as well. So I think Gary's doing his best to rotate the squad. If we get a Randall Leal in there on top of everything and a fully healthy attack at some point, now that Hani's good, dangerous, I think, it will be okay. But I'd definitely want a striker.
Hani broke the seal on the goals. What do you think what's the limit? What's the up? Where's he headed? What's our number?
I think 15 goals, but I think he'll have more assists this season. I mean, he's already got 3, and I think having people to pass to who are quick, and he can kind of make those decisive final passes. He's already with Schaffelberg and now Fafa, so both of those wingers being able to get behind, I think that's really helpful. And he'll get assists from that, and he might be almost equal with assists versus goals there, but I'm okay with that. Spread the goals around and make people think a little bit more, and it opens up space for him. And as we saw with Hani's goal, I mean, he got a little bit of help, but great pass from Dex to break the lines. Shaq, nice weighted pass to get to Hani, and Hani just finishing at a really beautiful angle. So can't complain. We'll see what happens next week.
We'll see what happens next week. Thanks, my man.